Well, hello, fitness family. We are here with ROCovery Fit. I don't know if you had a chance to notice, but on our schedule, now that our live programs outdoors are getting underway, 6 days a week, weather permitting, you can find a workout or a hike with your ROCovery favorites. We've reduced the amount of online programs. So ROCovery Fit for now is just on Wednesdays at noon, but we always upload these videos. So you can find them on our Facebook if you dig through the videos, or you can go to our YouTube channel, which, while I'm mentioning it, I'm going to post. Just give me a moment. I don't have it pulled up, so get to look through. Yeah, also on our YouTube channel, you'll find all of the past workouts. So there was a point in time where I was doing workouts every day from home, and a couple of your other ROCovery favorites like Brian Quinn, Brandon Scott, Kirsten, they were all posting workouts too. So there should be quite the archive there to get you started. And a really cool thing is to redo a workout. So even if you go through the whole database or watch all the videos, you can go back and redo one from the beginning and kind of see how much your fitness has changed or improved, or if you've been taking some time off, maybe it's a new starting point. So it's just always a fun thing to go back and redo those workouts. Before we get started, I'll just say that it might be a little bit noisy. I have both doors open in my garage, so you might hear traffic. I'll also let you know that you're going to need an object to lift today. Well, really two of them. Unless you have a barbell in your home, garage, home gym, whatever, and you can do traditional deadlifts with a barbell, feel free to use that. But I'm going to give you some options. If you have dumbbells, obviously, those would work really well. So you would have 2 dumbbells, and you could just touch the ground and come back up. We'll talk a little more about form before we get started. You could also do the same with kettlebells. I have my tried and true water jugs that keep handy, so you can deadlift with those. I recommend laundry soap. I think that laundry soap bottles have nice tops that are very secure, so you don't spill soap everywhere. I feel reckless every time I use those water jugs. If you don't have any of those, you could get 2 grocery bags, fill them with the heaviest, thickest books you can find, and use that. So go ahead and get creative. If you're like, Lisa, I have none of those things, so I guess I'm not working out today. Wrong. Please take a minute and advocate for yourself. Go ahead and put in the chat that you need something different because those don't work for you. There we go. Hopefully you'll be able to see the workout better now. Yeah, so let me just give it a moment so you can get those. And as I always say, your own music is helpful because I don't sing. I just do a lot of sweating and breathing and counting and yelling random tips if they come to mind. But you really probably want music to work out, and I can't play any. So 2 heavy things to lift for your deadlifts, heavy-ish, as heavy as you can, and music. While you're getting those together, we'll go ahead and get started. So we're going to start our warm-up with, 10 arm swings side to side. We do this just to get our blood flowing to those joints. Body moving. And you're going to go up and down 10 times. Next, you're going to do the same thing with your legs so you can get those hip joints going. I like to hold on to some things so don't fall over, but 5 times forward or 10 times forward and back. And then you're going to do it side to side. Open those hips up. It's not about how high you go, it's just the movement, right? That blood flow. especially if you've been working from home or doing a lot of Zoom or watching Netflix or reading books or whatever it is. Sitting still, it's hard to go right into a workout. Full disclosure, I have no idea if that was 10. I like words. I like lifting things. I like humans. I haven't dedicated myself to counting yet. All right, so that's the beginning of our warm-up. Before we get started, I want to go over some modifications. Burpees, everybody's favorite thing to hate. I know some of you see that word and you're like, done with this workout. I just want to show you a couple variations. So one variation is like a squat thruster. So you go down, you step back, and you step in, and then you clap. No jumping. This works really great if you have like knee problems because it reduces the impact without the jump. You can still jump if you want to. It's also good if you haven't done burpees in a while, and it's like a good way just to do a bunch of work on getting yourself out of breath and your heart pumping, but without all the stress on your joints and muscles. The next one's what I call the lazy lady burpee, but it's similar, as in you're going to step back, but then you're going to lower yourself down and then step in and jump. A traditional burpee, there's not really much finesse to it, but if you can keep your legs wider, it makes it a little easier. You're going to drop down, jump up, and clap. So those are burpees. If you have questions, make sure you leave them in the comments. The second thing that we're going to do is deadlifts. So form is really important here, even if you're using light weight. A deadlift is a hinging movement. So you start nice and tall. You don't want to be arched. You want to be nice and tight, those shoulders back and down, feet flat on the floor. Send your hips backwards, and then bend your knees to go down, and then up. You want to try to keep, once you go back, you want to keep this angle here the same the whole time. So it's not a squat, which we will be doing next, but it's a hinge. So back and down. You should feel these muscles working. If it's in your lower back, that means you're just bending in half. We don't want to do that today. The last move we're going to do is squats. So feet about hip width apart. Some people like to turn their toes out. Make sure your knees track over your toes. Your hip goes under your knee and back up. You can do whatever you want with your hands. There you go. Any questions on our moves? Doesn't look like it. So in the beginning, I mentioned that we're reducing to just one Get ROCovery Fit workout online a week, but that we do have that YouTube channel with all our past ones. This would be a great workout to do today. Write down your score. So basically, I'm going to set a clock for 15 minutes. We're going to do 5 burpees, 10 deadlifts, 15 squats, and then we're going to go back to do burpees again. So that whole chunk is a round. And what you could do is you could keep track of how many rounds you get done, like maybe you get 4 done. Write it down, revisit this workout at a future date, and see where you are. Am I getting more rounds or less rounds? That's why the form is so important, because if you don't use the same form today that you do next time, it's not really a good comparison. So I would suggest today pushing yourself, but really making sure you have good form. There's that loud traffic. If you don't have your own music, you're going to get tractors and trucks and cars for your music from my garage. All right. Looks like we're ready to go. Let me get, I'm not really sure what the best camera angle is going to be. You know what I mean? You don't really need to see me struggling through burpees. I'm okay with that. I don't care how fit you are. Burpees are difficult, but good. They're full body movement. And we're going to get started in 5 seconds. We're going to start with 5 burpees. 3, 2, 1, and go. So down, and up. Don't forget to breathe. And then 10 deadlifts. So every time you stand up is 1. And 15 squats. Now don't get out of breath now. I know I'm taking it medium pace, but that's because I know we have a long workout ahead of us. Think marathon. That's 1 round. Big deep breath. And back to 5 burpees. And 10 deadlifts. Remember, keep those shoulders back and down. Don't let them slump forward. That makes it hard to put your back in a good position. And 15 squats. Now you might want to break your squats up into 5s. So that way, you just save your legs. So they feel easy now, but they're gonna get more difficult. Good, that's 2 rounds. Big deep breath. And 5 more burpees. Now remember, you can go faster than me, slower than me, at the same pace as me. It's really your workout. Just do 5, 10, 15. Good. Big deep breath. I'm dropping down for my next set of burpees. If you feel yourself getting tired, feel free to switch to a different style of burpee. The key is just not to stop. You can take a breath. You can slow down, but try not to stop completely. Big deep breath. Another cool thing is to make a deal with yourself. I'm only going to take 1 breath. Or I'm only going to take 2 breaths whenever I take a break. And that really prevents like that, your brain panicking when you can't breathe, from making you rest longer than you really need to. But it also honors your body. So remember, if you've been doing traditional burpees, you can move into the squat thrust or the step back, lower down, step in, and clap. Big deep breath between moves. Get right to it. Slow is better than stopping. But if you want a break, feel free to stop. Just make sure you choose how long you're going to stop beforehand. I'm only going to drink water. I'm only going to take 3 breaths. I'm only going to take 30 seconds. Deep breath and back to breathe. When you get to your deadlifts, a good tip is to pick one spot to look at so your head's not moving all around. And just so you know, we are halfway done. It's like where I started thinking, oh, 15 minutes, it must have been a typo. Big deep breath. Remember, slow and steady wins the race for this workout. Big deep breath. And go. Another deep breath for the transition. And squats for me. Another exercise tip, when you're doing squats, particularly a lot of them like today, you can shift the positioning of your feet just slightly, and it helps relieve some of the strain or tightness and allows you to use some different muscle groups. Big deep breath and burpees. Take a deep breath. Getting closer to the end. So this is where, if you have a lot of energy, you might want to kick it up, go a little bit faster. Never sacrificing form though. Your legs are sore, you shake them out. Remember, you can modify, but keep moving. If you're feeling a little bit tired or strained, we're in the home stretch. Almost done. Oh, squats. Hate working so much. Yeah, happy to do them. About 90 seconds left. See how far you can get in the last minute and a half. One more minute. Ten seconds. 3, 2, 1. Big deep breath. I didn't finish that last round. That's not what matters. To me, it's actually more important to kind of push into, sorry, I'm out of breath, that whole like mind game where your brain's like, 30 seconds left, I'm not gonna finish this round. I can just stop here. Like, no, get used to one, failing. I use that loosely, but some of us will say to ourselves, oh, I'm a failure, I didn't finish that round. Please understand, I don't think it's a failure, but it could feel like one. And it's really important to expose yourself to that because, you know, in my experience, dealing with failures, one of the most difficult things as an athlete, a mom, a person in recovery, you know, there isn't a part of my life that skill doesn't touch. It also builds that mental fortitude of doing things you think you can't do and striving for goals and realizing, hey, even if I don't reach my goal of finishing that round, I got a really great workout. Which, by the way, thanks, Dave. I'm glad you liked it too. I thought that was a fun one. And definitely, if you did this today, write down your score if you kept track. Redo this after 30 days and see how it goes. Before we stretch, I do want to mention there's a very specific reason that I did not do any upper body work. I mean, burpees a little bit, but we are raising awareness as a collective whole for a very important, talked about, but probably not enough topic of veteran suicide. There's a high correlation between service and trauma and substance use and death by suicide. So as with every year, you've probably seen on social media, and as cheesy as you may or may not think it is, it's really important to find different ways to talk about these things. But 22 push-ups for 22 days to show your support for those struggling who have served our country. That doesn't mean we're not caring about other people, right? We're still getting amped up for our 5K for Recovery Month in September. We're doing the Adirondack team, the 46 climbs, also in honor of suicide awareness. ROCovery supports the community, and the community is more than just substance use, although there's a lot of overlap. So I saved your arms so you can maybe save a life by being a part of that cause. So I highly recommend that at some point today you do 22 push-ups, have it on video, put it on your story, one of your social media channels, or just put a picture or a statement. Really encourage other humans to get on board. I'm certainly going to do mine as soon as we're done with this video. But before we do, it's time to stretch. One of my favorite stretches is pigeon pose because it gets your hips. We're going to do a seated pigeon today. If you have flexible hips, you are going to stack like this. I don't think I can handle that today. So if you can comfortably sit here, that's fine. If you're like me and you can't, you're going to tuck one leg in, and the other one, there's probably about this much space between them, goes out in front. And then from here, you're just going to fold over. And we're going to hold that for 20 seconds. You should feel the stretch on this outer hip, on the top leg, or the leg that's forward should be the one you feel the stretch in. One more big deep breath. Come all the way up to seated. Switch legs. Again, you can stack or put it out in front if you're like me. Move to the side so maybe you can see it better. You see this foot's here. This one's way up here. And then from here, we're just gonna fold over. I don't have a flexible spine. I know some of you out there are nice and flat like pancakes. You go, people. Big deep breath. All right, another serious thing. I also say this every day. I love you and I appreciate you. I do not use that term lightly. If people go through a natural disaster together, they bond, right? I am bonding with each and every one of you because we share the story of recovery within us, whether it's our own story, one we carry as an ally. We are bonded through that experience. So when I say I love you, I mean it, and it comes from a very genuine place. And from a very genuine place, reach out if you're struggling, even if it's a little bit, right? Because a little bit of struggle, if it doesn't get light shown on it, it is going to grow into bigger struggle. And it's really, really freaking hard to reach out when your struggle is so big you don't know how to carry it. So if you are struggling, even if you think it's something silly or it's no big deal, reach out. I love you, and I know I speak for the whole team at ROCovery. We all do, and we're here for you. And even if you engage maybe with a peer, one of our outreach engagement specialists, and you decide, you know what, that struggle was silly, and I'm over it, and I don't need this anymore, we don't mind. Even if we talk to you once or if we talk to you 100 times, we just want to be there for you in the way that you need. So just remember that for yourself, for your friends, for your loved ones. And with that, go do your push-ups. Stay awesome, and I will see you next week.